Hi everyone, this is Tamra Sylvester with Awareness Speaks, and today I am going to discuss the upcoming eclipses that are taking place in July and August. The reason I've decided to do this video is because of the deaths that I'm hearing in the news around the world, as well as the 2 suicides that have just taken place in the US with fashion designer Kate Spade and CNN foodie, he's a food critic, Anthony Bourdain. Immediately when I heard about Kate, I thought of these eclipses, and then when I heard about Anthony Bourdain just a few days later, I thought, okay, I am going to do a video on this energy to bring awareness to it. Because eclipse energy are strong energies. We will be having 3 eclipses, 2 solar eclipses and 1 lunar eclipse. And all astrologers differ on when they feel eclipse energy can be felt. Me, I go with what is taking place in the world, as well as the other planetary positions, and also my own feeling. I am someone who is extremely in tune with energy. I also do energy healing along with life coaching. So I am really in touch with energy. So I just go with some of this with my own instinct. So besides these eclipses that are coming up, we're going to be experiencing a Mercury retrograde in July as well. July 26th, 27th, depending where you live in the world. So besides that retrograde, we have other planets that are retrograde already and that are going retrograde. So at one time, we're going to have 6 out of 8 planets that will be retrograde. And some of them will be retrograde later. So within the last 6 months, almost all of the planets have been retrograde. So what that means when planets are retrograde is it feels like it is difficult to get things going. Because retrograde means slowing down, stopping, redirecting the energy. So during these times, depending on the planet and its meaning, for some of you who understand astrology, this is where you will have the slowdown. It also will depend on where the energy is in your personal chart. So this year in general, even with numerology, we are in a 11 and 2 year. And this energy as well is a slower energy. So I feel, I know both. I've studied both energies and I consult in both astrology and numerology. And these are great tools for my coaching and counseling practice, because I am able to see information very quickly in a person's chart as to what is going on. And this is why I want to bring awareness to people. So even this year, if things seem like they're going slow, don't worry. If something isn't happening, don't go against the tide. You want to go with the tide. You want to go when the energy is moving, when you're in a flow. When you keep getting blocked, that means it's not either the right time or it's not the right direction. So I believe in astrology, the planets are giving us an opportunity to rethink our plans, restructure, refocus, and even refuel our energy physically. So it's more of a rest time. So from Earth, it appears like the planets are going backwards. They're really not. They're just slowing down. But with Mercury retrograde, because Mercury, the planet Mercury, rules our communication, And this is the one that is going retrograde in July, toward the end of July. But you may begin to feel this between 5 to 6 weeks in advance. And I feel like now, if you're having electrical problems, if all of a sudden equipment breaks down, your car breaks down, you can't think clearly because Mercury rules how you communicate. So it also rules your everyday travel. So if travel plans aren't going, if something happens with your travel plans, don't worry. Just remember what I said, that this energy is going to be a little tricky for the next month or so, maybe 5 to 6 weeks. So don't fret. Just become aware of it. And with awareness, it can change the way you are feeling inside. Okay, let me give you the dates of the eclipses. The first one will be July 12th. It will be a new moon solar eclipse, and it will be in the degree of 20. It will be 20 degrees Cancer. So it will be impacting those born in the middle of the sign of Cancer, or Pisces, or Scorpio. It could impact you. And also the signs Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. Those are what we call mutable or cardinal signs in astrology, and they're making a square with each other in the sky. So they're all impacted. Okay? July 27th, we will be experiencing a full moon lunar eclipse in 4 degrees Aquarius. So those of you born in the beginning signs of Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, you may be impacted as well, depending where it is in your chart. So it all depends in your astrology where these planets are. If it's a sun sign, it could happen anywhere in your life. Okay, but knowing your astrology, you can really see the impact of exactly where it's going to take place. So besides the air signs, it could impact Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus as well in the beginning degrees. And also the ending degrees of Capricorn, Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries. Okay? There's a lot in astrology, so you really have to keep your mind focused. Okay, and then the next one is August 11th, and it's a new moon solar eclipse, and it will be in 18 degrees Leo, so those born in the middle of Leo, give or take a few days. As well as the fire signs, if you're born in the middle of the sign of a fire sign of Aries and Sagittarius, as well as Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. The full moon and new moon are within 2 weeks of each other, and they're always with opposite signs. So that's why the same signs will be impacted. Aquarius and Leo are opposite signs in astrology. In astrology, air goes with fire, because air fuels fire, and water goes with earth, because water feeds earth. So Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus may be impacted as well. And just to give you a refresher on the difference between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse is when the moon is directly between the earth and the sun. And this is for a brief time. The moon can black out the sun. What this is doing in astrology is it is providing you an opportunity to turn, because it blocks the sun, so it blocks the light for a few minutes. So what this is doing is it's giving you, almost like rebooting you from a human aspect. It's like when you go to bed at night, you turn off the lights, it's dark, and when you wake up the next morning, you have a new perspective, and you can have a newness. So new moons are all about new beginnings. So you need to turn off that light for a minute and say, okay, where could I restart, or where could there be newness? It's great for new beginnings, but the difficulty with these is there's going to be a Mercury retrograde, so I wouldn't suggest beginning anything new during this time. I would say maybe, I don't know, it's going to be difficult this year because Mars will be going retrograde as well, and Mars is all about taking action. So I don't even want to give advice without seeing your astrology chart as when a good time it is to take action, because of all of these retrograde energies along with the eclipse. The eclipses can either eclipse something out of your life or bring something into your life. So the new moon, a lot of times, because it's the sun, it can bring a newness, it can bring fresh starts, but the lunar eclipse is different because that is our emotional self, the moon. And this is where lunatic and loony comes from. And this is where I feel like people have to really be careful of their emotions during this time. Because eclipses, especially a full moon eclipse, it's like 10 times the energy of a full moon. So think when there's a full moon in general, how sometimes you're feeling, you're feeling emotional, you can feel more anger, you can feel old wounds, you begin to reminisce. The moon is our emotional energy. And years ago, doctors didn't even perform surgery during this time. We're talking many moons ago. But they didn't perform surgery because of the energy involved with the moon. So during the eclipse, like I said, the earth is exactly between the sun and the moon, and this is, you can see the earth's shadow. And sometimes you'll be able to see different colors, like a reddish, orangish, brownish, grayish color. What the lunar eclipse is doing is it's providing a chance to see your shadow self. This is where I feel people begin to have a difficult time if you're feeling sad already. Pay attention to this, because this energy could provide an opportunity for you to do a lot of healing if you begin to do some of the steps I'm going to tell you to do. And that is observe your emotions. Observe your anger, observe your rage, observe your jealousy, observe your fears. Don't give in to the energy if you can. I know it's difficult when you're beginning to feel emotional. If you need to cry or whatever, go away, do it, get it out. During the full moon, it's coming to a head. So that's why you call a full moon. It's full. There can be endings, there can be completions. You can see if a relationship is on the brink of ending, depending on your astrology chart, someone can be eclipsed out of your life, even a death. If someone is sick and really sick and they're on the verge of death, this can eclipse them out of your life. Where the new moon can bring things into your life, and the full moon is more about endings, completion. You can complete a project, you can complete something within yourself, you can have an ending of an old behavior. It's a great time to let something go. And it's because this is in the sign of Aquarius, this is an independent thinker. This is about freedom. Free yourself, free your emotions. Okay, release them, let them go. Don't give in to them, because all our emotions is old pain. But a lot of times what happens is they are sleeping. And when something happens in our life, When someone or a relationship comes into our life, a friendship, our family members, someone begins to stir those feelings that we have been putting under for many, many years, and all of a sudden they are awakened. They're dormant, and they can be awakened by this full moon energy. So since it's in Aquarius, it's a great time to free those feelings and heal them. And the way to heal them is to begin to observe them. This observing is your connection to the God energy, the consciousness, to the universe. Awareness is light energy. It is your connection. So what it is doing, it is healing those wounds. I know this for myself. I've done this on my own 15 to 20 years ago. Before I read any books, I did this, and I realized when I read Eckhart Tolle that I just healed my pain body, but it took me years. You can begin to feel the difference right away when you begin to observe them. But depending how deep the wounds are, it will take a while for them to come up because we have layers. You have to peel that onion. But you will see all of a sudden, if you begin to do this, you'll begin to feel differently. I guarantee you. Okay, that is what all I'm going to discuss with this. Remember, if you're feeling down, don't give in to the energy, and check on someone who is going through a difficult time if they are prone to depression. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about me, you can check out my website at awareness speaks.com. My name is Tamra Sylvestre. Bye for now.